Have you ever felt like you're walking on eggshells, not just for a moment, but for months or even years? Like your internal alarm system is permanently stuck on high alert? If so, you're not alone, and what you're experiencing has a name: complex post-traumatic stress disorder, or CPTSD. Let's break this down in human language, not therapist jargon. You've probably heard of PTSD, which often comes from a single, massive traumatic event, like a big explosion. CPTSD is different. It's not one explosion. It's like living next to a volcano that's constantly rumbling, quietly erupting and spewing emotional lava day after day. It's the result of long-term, repeated trauma, and one of its most common causes is narcissistic abuse. This constant stress fundamentally changes you. It messes with your sense of self, making you ask, who am I, and why do I feel so broken? It shatters your ability to trust people, including yourself. It throws your emotions into chaos, leading to sudden crying spells, overwhelming anger, or just feeling completely numb. It chips away at your self-worth until you feel worthless. And it rewires your nervous system to see danger everywhere, even when you're safe. So, how does a relationship with a narcissist lead to this? It's a slow, strategic process of erosion. It doesn't happen overnight. It follows a predictable, insidious pattern. It starts with love bombing. You meet them, and it feels like a fairy tale. They shower you with affection and praise, saying things like, "You're the most amazing person I've ever met," or "I've been waiting for you my whole life." Your brain, especially if you've ever felt unseen, latches onto this. You think, wow, finally, someone who truly gets me. This phase is designed to hook you, to make you dependent on their validation. Then, almost imperceptibly at first, comes devaluation. The compliments turn into subtle jabs. You're being too sensitive. Why are you always so dramatic? That never happened. You're imagining things. Suddenly, the person who put you on a pedestal is the one knocking you off it. Your brain gets confused. You start to think, wait, what did I do wrong? Maybe it is me. This is where gaslighting comes in, and it's a core tool of narcissistic abuse. They systematically warp your perception of reality. They deny things they said and did, things you know happened. They twist your words, making you the villain in a story you didn't write. You start to doubt your own memory, your own sanity. This is incredibly damaging because it severs the connection you have with your own intuition and truth. To survive this, you enter a state of emotional containment and control. You learn to predict their moods. You shrink yourself down, biting your tongue, changing your behavior, abandoning your own needs, all to avoid their anger, their silent treatment, or their disapproval. You're constantly managing their emotions, with no room left for your own. Living like this puts your body into a state of chronic stress. Your nervous system gets stuck in fight, flight, freeze, or fawn mode for months, sometimes years. Fight is when you're constantly argumentative. Flight is when you want to run. Freeze is when you feel numb and disconnected. And fawn is when you become an expert people pleaser to appease the threat. This long-term emotional instability and nervous system dysregulation are the exact ingredients that create CPTSD. It's not a sign of weakness. It's your biology doing its absolute best to survive an impossible situation. So if this is you, how do you begin to heal? The journey out of CPTSD is not a straight line. It's more like a dance. 2 steps forward, 1 step back, maybe a weird shimmy to the side because something triggered you. But the key thing to remember is that you absolutely can heal. The first step is education and awareness. Just understanding what happened, putting a name to it, narcissistic abuse, gaslighting, CPTSD, is incredibly powerful. It shifts the blame from what's wrong with me to what happened to me. This alone can lift a monumental weight off your shoulders. Next, you need to build boundaries. Think of boundaries as emotional SPF 50. They're not walls to keep everyone out. They are filters to protect you from the harmful rays of toxic people. Learning to say no to protect your energy and to state your needs is a crucial part of reclaiming your safety and self-respect. Then comes trauma therapy, and this is non-negotiable. Look for therapists who specialize in trauma. Modalities like EMDR, somatic experiencing, parts work or IFS, and trauma-informed CBT are designed specifically to help your brain and body process the trauma. They don't just talk about it, they help you rewire the fear loops that have been running on repeat. Healing isn't just a mental game. Your body holds the score. That's why nervous system work is so important. This can be as simple as deep breath work to calm your anxiety, gentle yoga to reconnect with your body, or grounding techniques like feeling your feet on the floor. Things like mindfulness, gentle movement, and establishing regular, predictable routines can send powerful signals of safety to your frazzled nervous system. And perhaps one of the most beautiful parts of healing is rebuilding your identity. The narcissist tried to erase who you were and rewrite your story. Now, you get to be the author again. You get to rediscover what you love, what you value, what makes you laugh, and what your dreams are, separate from their influence. Finally, you can't do this alone. Healing thrives in community. Find your support system. This could be trusted friends, a support group of other survivors, or a team of professionals. Sharing your experience with people who get it is validating and helps you feel less isolated. Now, let's talk about the hardest part for many, breaking the connection and ending the relationship. Leaving a narcissist isn't like a normal breakup. It's a strategic mission. You need to be prepared. They will likely try to hoover you, meaning suck you back in like a vacuum cleaner. They'll use the same love-bombing tactics that worked in the beginning. If that doesn't work, expect rage, guilt-tripping, and smear campaigns where they play the victim and paint you as the unstable one to friends and family. And through it all, you'll battle your own confusion, wondering, maybe it wasn't that bad. Maybe I am exaggerating. Let me be clear. You are not. Your feelings are valid. The most effective strategy is to go no contact or low contact. No contact means blocking them on everything. No calls, no texts, no social media. It means no seeking closure. Trying to get closure from a narcissist is like asking a wolf to explain why it ate the chicken. It can't give you a reason that will satisfy you because its nature is to devour. If you are married or have children together, no contact might be impossible. This is where you implement a low contact strategy, often called gray rock. You become as boring as a gray rock. You communicate only when absolutely necessary about logistics, and you stick to the facts. No emotion, no drama, no explanation. Facts starve a narcissist. Emotions feed them. If you are planning to leave a marriage, do it quietly and safely. Get legal advice, gather important financial documents, build your support network. Create a safety plan if there's any risk of escalation. And please, find a therapist who is specifically trained in narcissistic abuse dynamics. They can be your anchor. Also, document everything. Dates, times, incidents, screenshots of texts. This can be vital, especially in legal proceedings. When it gets hard, imagine your life 1 year from now. Picture yourself free, peaceful, and smiling. That future version of you is your biggest cheerleader, rooting for you to take these hard steps today. So, the million-dollar question. How long does healing take? There's no simple answer. Healing isn't on a fixed timeline like cooking pasta. But here's a general pattern many survivors report. Within about 6 months of consistent therapy and self-care, you'll likely notice a real improvement in your emotional stability. The constant roller coaster starts to level out. In 1 to 2 years, you can experience a major transformation. Your self-esteem rebuilds, your boundaries become solid, and you start to feel like yourself again, but a stronger, wiser version. And at 3 years and beyond, many survivors find a deep sense of peace, confidence, and true emotional freedom. You'll still have moments, but the trauma no longer runs your life. It's not a forever sentence, but it does require consistent care, just like a neglected plant needs consistent sunlight and water to blossom again. The best news is that every single healthy step you take, every boundary you set, every moment you choose yourself, weakens the old trauma patterns and strengthens the new, healthy you. You're capable of healing, and you deserve to. If you're struggling, please reach out for help. There are resources and people who want to support you. Thanks for watching, take care of yourself, and don't forget to subscribe for more content on healing and recovery.